What's going on, Giants fans? We are fresh off the heels of the first win of the season, the first win of the Jaxson Dart era. 21-18 upset. The Giants upset the Chargers here, and there's so much to talk about outside of this game. The Jaxson Dart news, I mean, the future is bright for the New York Football Giants, and there's so many things I want to go over. But, first of all, going into this game, nobody gave a damn about the Giants. Nobody picked the Giants going into this game. This was a Chargers team that had a top 10 offense, defense. Giants were supposed to get embarrassed, drop to 0-4. Pat Leonard and other beat writers had the Giants possibly firing Brian Daboll on Monday morning. And you look at the reverse coming out of this game. Look at the scene, at the very last scene that you see from the game. The broadcast is Brian Daboll and Jaxson Dart headbutting each other. And just sheer excitement. And they did something today. I brought this up earlier today that I got to give Brian Daboll credit. He's been under attack. He's been under a lot of scrutiny, and a lot of it's been deservingly so. But this guy, that final look, that final image of Brian Daboll walking off the field, it wasn't just about saving his job. This is a guy that has taken the brunt of a lot of stuff for the last couple of years. He came in his rookie season, wins NFL Coach of the Year. And ever since then, it's been a downward spiral. He's had to go through other assistant coaches, a second defensive coordinator. So during that whole span, he never gets his quarterback. And we see Daniel Jones kind of resurrecting his career without Brian Daboll. But there's been 5-6 quarterbacks under the Brian Daboll regime. He finally goes out and he fought like hell to get Jaxson Dart in the draft. Fought to get him. We've learned, other stories have the organization wanted to get Sanders in the draft. But Daboll stuck to his guns. He fought to get Jaxson Dart. And today, we can argue for the rest of the time why he was inserted in this game, in the third game, in this fourth game of the season. But he was. Time was right for various different reasons. Jaxson Dart era has officially begun. And I'm happy for Jaxson, and I'm happy for Brian Daboll. But just go back to Jaxson Dart, right? So first thing that comes into mind, I'm going to this game, and I'm thinking, I said to fans all week long, the one thing I just wanted everybody to understand was there's going to be ups and downs. There was going to be times in the not just this game, but in the series of this schedule that's coming up, which is brutal outside of the Saints game, that was going to be like, okay, that's a rookie quarterback. Not everything was going to be amazing highlight reels, and Jaxson Dart was not going to be the savior. So it's almost like I wanted people to kind of temper their expectations a little bit. But that being said, even going into this, I witnessed exactly what I wanted to see. I didn't see rookie mistakes. I mean, there were some. Absolutely, there were some. I shouldn't say there was no rookie mistakes. But they weren't rookie mistakes that cost us a game. And how many times do you see that around the league? What I knew he was going to provide was, first of all, the line didn't do a great job today. They looked decent the last 2 weeks, but up against the best defense they've had to go against so far, I wouldn't say they fell apart. But if that was Russell Wilson out there against the Chargers, you're talking about an entirely different outcome. He came in for the one series, and look what happened. So the way Dart handled the pressure, when the pocket collapsed, what I wanted to see going into this game was a rookie quarterback that could make something happen, because he did it in college. We have enough tape to see what he can do on his feet. And bam, there you saw it. When the play breaks down, Jackson's making something happen, scrambling around, moving around. And then I can't tell you how long it's been since I felt confident, honestly, when a New York Giants quarterback drops back to pass, that nothing bad was going to happen. I know I'm not alone in saying this today, that when Jaxson Dart would go back and pass, that I just was confident he was going to find the right guy. He was going to find the open man, and the Giants would advance the ball. And that's exactly what happened. Even in the Wan'Dale Robinson touchdown in the end zone, Jaxson scrambling around making something happen. Now, granted, it wasn't the prettiest pass, but he made a play. He made a play happen. Wan'Dale couldn't come down with the ball, but that's what we wanted to see. If Dart was going to start, we wanted to see a guy that can give us life and give us pulse on offense, and not just the ability to drive the ball down the field, but look at the way the team responds to Jaxson Dart. Look at the fans. I haven't seen MetLife that just out of control in years. You might have to go back to the Eli years. The fans were absolutely engaged and involved, and going into this game, what did we hear about? We heard about a damn plane that was going to fly over with a banner that was going to tell Mara how he had to blow the whole fucking thing up. And I know that in the NFL, the National Football League, things are fickle. Fans are fickle. And a lot of people, the moment that Jaxson Dart looks bad or looks like a rookie quarterback, they may flip the script on him. But I'm telling you right now, as a guy that can generally have a pulse of the base, I think fans are satisfied with the fact that we understand the schedule's brutal. We understand we don't look like exactly a playoff team. But with this kid under the helm in the beginning of the Jaxson Dart era, it gives the Giants a chance to be in games. The defense, especially under Bowen, is going to bend and break. But when you can respond and put drives together, anything can happen. And that's what happened today. A Chargers team that expected to be going back to LA 4-0 at the top of their division, and a Giants team that was supposed to drop to 0-4 and have just a whirlwind of bad news all around them tomorrow morning, on Monday morning. And instead, that's why you play the games. That's why you play the games, because Jaxson Dart gave the Giants just that much of an edge. And again, not just him. It was the defense too. The run defense is still the weak spot of this defense, clearly. And we'll get to the defensive side of the ball. But, just right off the bat, I just want to say, I couldn't be prouder of Jaxson Dart. I couldn't be more stoked about what he is going to bring to this team. And this is why I made the case that if you're going to bring him in, do it now. Pull the trigger now. You don't wait until the Saints game, because now look, he just debuted at home, got MetLife in New York on his back. The whole NFL world is talking about him today. And now he gets to ride that momentum into, on the road, his first road game as a starter, against the worst team in the National Football League. So you hit the ground running before that game against the Eagles. It was the right move by Brian Daboll. The team knows it, and now the fans know it. The only thing that I will say about Jaxson, I love the decision making. I love the fact that he can just make something out of nothing. And he's just always confident. You got to love that swagger, right? The only thing I would say, my knock on him is, boy, does this kid got to learn to slide. He runs like he thinks he's Cam Skattebo. He runs like he wants impact. In fact, he did. I mean, he's running down the field. He's head first. He's putting his shoulder into people. That's got to be cleaned up. That's got to be something that's got to get coached out of him. But I get it. First game, he's going to have his, balls to the wall mentality. But if that was the one knock, that was it. Seemed to, hurt his hamstring a little bit. Boom, shake it off. Taylor Swift. So Jaxson Dart obviously is the story of this game. And unfortunately, the other big story of the game is Malik Neighbors. And as we're doing this right now, he's going to have an MRI tomorrow, but pretty much all but confirmed. That's a torn ACL. That's a huge loss for the Giants, but more importantly him. His second year, he's about to have Jaxson Dart and this connection. We were just daydreaming of what these two could do together. I was sitting there kind of just stepping back earlier, and I thought, man, once this offense gets going with Leak sky's the limit. Like all of a sudden, like all the flaws of the Giants just evaporate. And then, bam, you knew it when he went down that it wasn't good. It looked awful. It looked like he was even trying to grab his knee in midair. But, man, what a loss. I feel terrible for Leak. Just the whole team in general, because that's your focal point of your offense. And now it's interesting because the Giants this presents such a unique situation because, in a sense, you are inserting Jaxson Dart right at the beginning of the meat of the schedule after the Saints game. And now you're taking away essentially his security blanket, what was supposed to be the guy that he was supposed to feed, one of the best receivers in the league. The Giants offense, it goes through Leak, and all of a sudden he's gone. And it couldn't work out. It's strange how things just work out the way they're supposed to. Because now you're going to really see Jaxson Dart have to make this team about himself. All of a sudden, as a rookie, this offense is going to be shaped in the identity of Jaxson Dart. And although Leak is gone, I like the way Slayton stepped up today. Slayton and Dart building a connection there. But the reality is, hey, let's look at this. I mean, Bo Collins made this roster as a UDFA. And Jalen Hyatt, a guy who has been on the milk carton. If Robert Stack was still alive, he'd be doing episodes on Unsolved Mysteries about him. But he's here. He's on the roster for a reason. These are guys, it's next man up. These are guys that are going to have to step up. I like the way that the Giants started off the season using Wan'Dale Robinson. That kind of went away in the Chiefs game. But there's talent there. It's easy to all of a sudden just get depressed and get knocked down about the Leak injury. But there's talent there at the wide receiver position. So it's unfortunate obviously for Leak, the team in general, and of course Jaxson Dart to not have that number one wide receiver. But they'll work things around that. They changed the entire offensive playbook going into this game to make things work for more that was suited for Jaxson Dart. You're going to see a lot more up-tempo, a lot more shorter passes. But if those guys that we've seen that are at least in practice and have shown flashes in preseason that can take the top off the defense, like Collins and like Jalen Hyatt, now is the time. Because without the threat of Malik out there, you don't all of a sudden want to turn into a one-dimensional passing game. But it's weird how it works out for a reason. Here comes Jaxson Dart, and now he's got to do it without Malik Neighbors. Wish him the best. And, again, my heart hurts for him. I was sick the moment I saw it. And I have to say, going to the next guy, this is weird. Again, rookie. The three rookies on this team that are just carrying this franchise right now. Cam Skattebo, what a fucking maniac. Was already building up a reputation as one of the most well-liked Giants. I told you before, he reminds me of Jeremy Shockey with his mentality. But he's got everything in him, man. He's got a Brandon Jacobs attitude in him, a Mark Bavaro attitude in him. And he's got that same swagger as Jaxson Dart. He runs like he wants to hurt people. And when he gets the ball, he's a difference maker. He's good in the passing game, good in the running game. He's a good blocker. And as weird as it is, the focal point of the Giants offense all of a sudden goes from shifting from Malik Neighbors is out. Cam is now the focal point of your offense because he's a playmaker. Tracy will be back here in a couple weeks. And when he does get back, it's going to be a good 1-2 punch. And I like Tracy a lot, but he's lost that starting job, okay? Because Cam, it's a spark. Same thing as Jaxson Dart. It's a spark. You either have that or you don't. And his never say die attitude is exactly what this offense needs. It's exactly what his best friend Jaxson Dart has. And he's going to have to rely on him and lean on him as the offense goes forward. But Cam, incredible. What a start to his rookie year. And it's going to get lost because of the other rookies on this team from week to week. But man, you got to love that 1-2 punch of those two rookies on offense and providing the spark that the Giants need going forward. Thrilled about the possibilities that we have on the offensive side of the ball. And on the defensive side of the ball, look, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but my God, how many times was Abdul Carter in the backfield? He's leading the league right now for rookies in pressure. And it won't just be rookies for much longer. This guy is an absolute monster. Everything that he was advertised to be. Just creating havoc today for Justin Herbert. He seemed like he was hitting him in the ribs every time he stepped back to pass. Even if they didn't sack him, he was getting knocked on his ass every time the ball was snapped. And yeah, look, that was unfortunate for the Chargers. They took some big hits on the offensive line, losing all, and they had other guys out too. So they knew the moment that he was done, holy shit, what are we going to do? We got Carter. We got Burns, Thibodeau, and Dexter Lawrence. Pass rush was outstanding today. Really put it together for the first time. It took about 4 games, and this was exactly, remember that clip in the summer when all of them were coming at, I think it was Russell it was Russ behind center, and he got the red shirt on, so he couldn't come get the quarterback. But they were in there like, boom, in 2 seconds. And that's what you saw today over and over again. This pass rush was relentless. All 4 of those guys. Big time. So Abdul Carter, just absolutely mind blown by some of the things I have seen from him already. He jumps off the page. His motor never stops. But hats off to Brian Burns and Kayvon Thibodeau, too, continuing their really solid seasons. Brian Burns is playing an all-pro level right now. This is the best season, off to the best season of his career. And then you got the beast in the middle, Dexter Lawrence, rumbling and tumbling down the field today with that interception. Just came that close, short up, right near the goal line for a touchdown. Then that place would have blown up. What an effort by Dexter Lawrence. It took him a couple games to get going, but my God, this guy's back to his all-pro form. What a monster. You get those 4 guys going, I don't care who you are. I don't care. Justin Herbert's had one of the better seasons in the NFL right now. They will make you look like dog shit. Love what Lawrence is up to today. Drew Phillips, that's his, I think, 2nd interception of the year. Both these guys came up with 2 huge plays today. Both of them resulted, putting the Giants in scoring position. Drew Phillips, easily to me, is the best cornerback that we have. There will be, so much to talk about as the week goes forward and what we'll be doing against the Saints. Obviously, the Giants have a long road ahead of them. They're a 1-3 team. But to get that off our back and to get in the win column, you just got to love it. And to have it be led by these rookies, especially these 3 rookies right here. I couldn't be happier. Barely have a voice to even talk. But it was well worth it, man. This was a great win. We're used to blowing these kind of wins. We're games. We're used to just taking the L and getting a participation trophy, but not this time. The Giants come up big today. 21-18. Did not blow this game. So looking forward, we got the Saints coming up here. And then, the meat of that schedule gets a lot tougher. But the Giants have a chance to all of a sudden put 2 back-to-back games together. Won't get ahead of ourselves, but with what we witnessed today, I'd say it would be very hard for the Giants not to win that game this coming week. Saints competed today, but, the Giants are going to ride this momentum from Jaxson Dart and the rookies. And, look, the team, as much of a blow as the Malik Neighbors injury is, the team's going to want to respond. Not just for him, for themselves, but they're going to want to respond. So all week long, we'll be talking about this. There'll be content flowing out. I got a lot of stuff I can't wait to drop this week. Reaction video is out from me already if you've seen it. Knoxter Peace Theater. Outstanding win as a fan. Enjoyed every second of it. And now we get to finally have a hype video going into the Saints game, which will drop later this week, for a win. As the Giants, hopefully, are putting something together right now. And for all the fans that stayed with this team and did not give up, I appreciate you guys. I know a lot of more fans come out when they're winning, for me personally. but just for the team, seeing that atmosphere today, seeing the fans that spent their hard-earned money and come out there every single week, get to enjoy that kind of victory and be there for the start of New Jack City. Love it. Love every bit of it. Every minute of it. So I'll be here all week, and we'll see you guys this week. And you know where to find me. YouTube and Facebook, Mr. Chuck Knoxx. And, of course, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, still there, at Chuck Knoxx. I will see you guys with more content coming real soon.